Hello, everyone. Zach Walters here. We are tracking a couple of tornado warnings in southeast portions of Texas. So we're going to get into that right now. We know that there is an active ice event occurring across portions of the Midwest, but we need to get into Kingwood, Texas. We need to get into the tornado warnings that are currently in effect across portions of southeast Texas. This is part of today's tornado threat in this region. So let's go ahead and dive in here. There are two tornado warnings currently issued for that region. We have both of them right next to each other here in southeast Texas. Let's zoom in a little bit. So you got the first tornado warning here. Includes areas Kingswood, Texas, Woodstream, Texas, to Plum Grove, Texas. This is just northeast of the Houston metro. And then the second tornado warning here off to the right of it includes Dayton, Texas, and Kennefic, Texas. So there's two. Let's go ahead and do the first one first. Let's read what it says. It is issued for Montgomery, Liberty, and Harris counties. This goes until 5 o'clock p.m. Central Time, so another 7 minutes. This is radar indicated rotation issued by the National Weather Service. It said it'll be near Roman Forest, Texas at around 4:40 p.m. Central Time, Patton Village 4:45, and Plum Grove 4:50 p.m. Central Time. This is for the more west tornado warning there in Texas. Let's shift over to the east one to get its information. Tornado warning is in effect for central Liberty County and southeast Texas. Social media pictures indicate this storm may have produced a tornado in the southwest portion of the county. So they are indicating that potentially a tornado occurred back here towards Dayton, Texas. Kind of maybe even down in this region. Social media is sending them pictures stating that there has been a tornado already with this storm. At velocity, definitely a tight region there on velocity to be concerned. Very likely you still have a lowering of some kind, maybe even a tornado ongoing still. They still have it as radar indicated. So you have a pretty significant region here, not probably inflow related. Let's go ahead and here so we can see if it showed a tornado at one point. Big area here. This very well could have been a tornado north of Dayton. Actually, it might have hit Dayton. If this is debris, that tornado, this very well could have been a tornado just north of Dayton. Definitely is still ongoing. They just extended the tornado warning to now include areas like Dayton Lake. But definitely probably a tornado that was on the ground there at one point, just pulling from the velocity scans. So let me update some information. I'll get to comments here in 1 second. Sorry, I just had a random disconnecting happen up there. So we did have a tornado that was reported via around Dayton, Texas. Then we had a decent debris ball, looks like, that just came out of the town. Not sure. We're going to get some information on that here in a second. This strong area of rotation now approaching the Dayton Lakes, Texas area. Let me go back to velocity. Well, we can see where the so right here is your tightening couplet of rotation. This is moving, I think, due north, so it might just go west of the Dayton, getting way too close for comfort for areas like Kennefic and Dayton Lakes. You should be in your underground shelters or in your tornado spots right now. But back here is your tightening couplet. This is where tornado would be. We are seeing some reports that maybe there was via social media, according to the National Weather Service, that there was a potential tornado at some point back here. Saying that I'm having connection problems, but it's connected to my Wi-Fi. Can you guys can hear me all right, right? Are you referring to tornado warnings or tornadoes? Railway fan. But if you're just now tuning in, we are monitoring a confirmed tornado that was on the ground just a little while ago. Tightening area of rotation now approaching the Kennefic, Texas area. This should be taken. This should be taken serious. This should be taken as a tornado on the ground because that's the last piece of information we've had. Let's see if they have that under the new one. Okay, so there's a radar confirmed tornado on the ground. Radar confirmed tornado, damaging tornado. It is now approaching Kennefic, Texas. Get this information updated. Seek shelter. So if you're just now tuning in, we are monitoring a tornado on the ground. Radar confirmed tornado on the ground near Kennefic, Texas. This is per National Weather Service. They are reporting a tornado is on the ground. We did see some CC drops that maybe indicated some debris was being lofted as it came out of the Dayton, Texas area. This is now approaching Kennefic, Texas, as well as Dayton Lakes. These two cities should be in their tornado shelters. Let's go back to reflectivity to get an idea of what it looks like here on radar. So it's really messy. You kind of get your inflow notch right there. Tornadoes happening back here, southwest and west of Kennefic. Let's pull correlation coefficient again so we can get an idea of what's happening here. I don't think there's as significant CC drop as there was a minute ago. But you can see those dark blues indicated by what could have been a tornado at one point, but it's kind of, it is a radar confirmed tornado, so this has to be it right here. So those dark blues as it approaches the Kennefic area that was probably once a tornado. Not sure if it's lifted. Radar. They're still reporting the tornado on the ground via radar. Radar confirmation. Looks like the rotation has broadened out a little bit. Not as tight as it was. However, this is basically right on top of Kennefic now. So if there is a tornado on the ground, it's getting really close to you. Dayton Lakes is coming right at you as well. Further up in the tornado warning polygon, looks like there's not lots of, it looks like highways. There is a tornado warning also to the west, but that rotation has certainly died out. Might be getting ingested by this storm. But we definitely have an area of strong rotation, still a reported tornado on the ground until told otherwise. This is a radar confirmed tornado, damaging tornado likely. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. It says that the tornado producing storm, as of 4:30 p.m. Central Time, so about 8 minutes ago, this tornado producing storm was located over Kennefic. Okay, so that matches the radar. It's directly over Kennefic right now. So hopefully the tornado is no longer on the ground. But the last reports we had was a confirmed tornado on the ground approaching the town of Kennefic. Let's go ahead and switch over to Twitter and see if we can see any photos. The tornado was being reported as through social media as well. So let's see if we can get some information on that. Okay, so we got some. Sounds like video of some rotation here. This was over Dayton when it was passing over the Dayton area. Thank you, CW, for the subscription. Thanks for joining us right at the right time for you guys down there. Hoping everybody's all right in Southeast Texas. You can see it looks like maybe an area of rotation happening about right here on the video. Really hard to tell. This is going to be a possibly rain-wrapped event as well. But this video is coming in out of Dayton, where the tornado was reported on the ground. See if we can get anything else here. This is a pretty populated area, so lots of radar pictures coming in. We don't really need that. What we need is pictures of the actual storm. Never makes any sense, people posting radar pictures. on Twitter. So this says wall clouds seconds ago on tornado warned cell, Humboldt, Texas. Not seeing much in there. It's kind of a messy image, just courtesy of Texas Weather on Twitter. Other than that, I'm not seeing any significant videos. We do know that there were social media reports. There we go. Okay, here we go. So this is the tornado. This was the tornado near Dayton. Pretty obvious on picture right there, right? This was a confirmed tornado, and it still is confirmed. Social media images coming in now on this tornado right here. Little broad rotation now, not as tight as it was. However, still being treated as a tornado on the ground, so that's what you should treat it as, especially when we're looking at social media images like the one I just showed you. Austin, thanks for being here, buddy. So let's go back to that picture because that's the best one I could see so far. So very clear tornado on the ground. This was the same storm, I believe, that was near Dayton, or should be. Let's pull the radar image from what he's looking at. So this was actually the one southwest of Kingwood in Montgomery County. So this is not the current tornado warning. Well, this is a tornado warning storm as well. But his reports of tornadoes definitely on the ground in this entire region. A confirmed tornado on the ground near Kennefick, Texas, coming from the same set of storms. This rotation is starting to broaden out a little bit. We'll see if it maybe comes back into play here. Let's put that in motion so we can see exactly how it looked as the tornado was touching down. So you can see the area right back here, just north of Dayton, Texas. That's where it was showing its ugly side, and it looks like it maybe has broadened out quite a bit and weakened as it gets more north into that tornado polygon. The tornado warning back to the west has expired. But definitely an area of concern there. Looks like maybe it could be weakening out a bit, so that's the good news. If you're just tuning in, we are tracking tornado warnings across Texas. Only one now, well, two technically, but one storm producing a tornado. There is a radar confirmed tornado on the ground near Kennefick, Texas, assuming that that is no longer happening, just solely based on the very broad rotation that is currently happening. Let me includes Dayton. This tornado warning does include Dayton Lakes in Texas. This is in the southeast portion of Texas, just outside the Houston metro. So if you're just tuning in, that's where we're at. We're in the southeast portion of Texas, just outside Houston metro, Dayton Lakes, Texas, where that confirmed tornado was on the ground just moments ago. Just kind of based on radar observations, I would say it's probably not on the ground anymore. Let's see what they're still saying here on this. They are still saying that it is a radar. Oh, crap. I guess I can't do that at the same time. They are saying radar confirmed tornado still in the tornado warning. I'm sure that will change as we get more information. Let's pull correlation coefficient and see if we have any debris indicators here. So the only debris indicator we had was this area right in here, right where that toughest rotation was showing. We don't have that anymore. So it makes me wonder if the tornado has lifted. We'll wait and make sure that it does not go into a recycle phase and start producing tornado anywhere in that northern box. But as of right now, I would say there's probably no tornado on the ground. However, National Weather Service still says in their warning that this is a radar confirmed tornado. So we want to wait and see what they change here, if they change anything. Let's go to reflectivity and see how it looks. So it looks like most of these storms are kind of booking it to the north. That's why we have that north polygon tornado warning. The tornado warning only including a few towns now to be concerned about. You can see right where that tornado would have been, right in that little hook that was showing there for a second. We're going to make sure that maybe we don't get a recycle here to the south and starts to produce another hook. Kind of looks like maybe it's trying here on that last scan right over the Kennefick, Texas area. Um, chat here. Yeah, but this is Southeast Texas, so there's not much of a winter in Southeast Texas. Okay, I was under tornado warning. Storm did not. Okay, where were you at? Yeah, it definitely looked like there was a CC drop for tornado debris there briefly, which is why they have that radar confirmed tornado. So if you're just tuning in, we are still monitoring a tornado warning in Texas, Southeast Texas, just outside the Houston metro, where it has a history of producing a tornado. We do know that this entire storm has a history of producing a tornado. Here was earlier southwest of Kingwood, Texas. You're pretty obvious to point out where the tornado was in this photo. This was the same storm system only about 30 minutes ago. Okay, so we are getting reports that there is a tornado watch issued for portions of Texas until 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay, we'll go ahead and pull that up on here as well so people can see that. Okay, so there it is. Okay, so they just issued it. Unfortunately, there's already been tornado confirmed storms, including the one that we're monitoring right now. This rotation is approaching the Dayton Lakes region now. So here is, come on, here is Dayton Lakes. Rotation getting really close to you now. Let's go over to velocity so we can get a better idea of what the storm is doing here. So there's that almost like a recycle phase, okay? So now you're getting the RFD ripping around here. You get some really good bright pink colors starting to come together again with some more gray and green. So we want to watch this area pretty much right on top of Dayton Lakes. We want to watch that area now for a recycle phase, as it looks like it might be attempting one. Might have a new tornado starting to form there, as well back west here, north of Oakhurst, Texas. Maybe an area trying to get its act together as well. But the only tornado warning right now that we're monitoring is this one right here. See if they've updated the text yet. Okay, so they have advised that the tornado is no longer on the ground, but it is still radar indicated rotation for Liberty County, Texas. Includes areas like Dayton Lakes. Dayton Lakes right now, the only population appearing on this radar scan, because I don't see any population up here, that is in the tornado warning polygon. Kennefic, I think you're okay now. Looks like you're out of it. But that new area of rotation is starting to come together a little bit more, so we'll see what it does here over the next few scans. Okay, we'll go and actually pull up that tornado warning now if it loads. There it is. Okay, so here's the, tornado watch, not warning. Here's the tornado watch. So it includes a tiny portion of Texas, Southeast Texas, right along the Louisiana border. This includes areas like Houston, just east of College Station, Lufkin, Texas, Port Arthur, Texas. This is the tornado watch that is currently in effect until 10 o'clock. Tornado watch number 13, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time is when it will expire. So they are expecting an uptick here in tornado activity through the 10 o'clock hour range. If you're just tuning in, this was the tornado reported earlier near Kingswood, Texas. The same storm system that we're currently monitoring another tornado warning on in Southeast Texas. So tornado season actually goes through the South, including Texas, Southeast Texas, all the way through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, from November through March. So it's not actually that uncommon. Southeast Texas does get more tornadoes in like the springtime though, but it's not terribly unusual for this area of the country. Kingwood, not too far away from you live. Okay. This was the tornado that was just southwest of Kingswood earlier. Let's go back to the radar real quick. and kind of see maybe it's starting to try to get a little bit of a curve again. Let's see if velocity is updated here in the last yeah, so you can see now it's starting again, trying to get its act together. Now northwest of Dayton Lakes. We'll see what this does. It's really trying to get going here. Maybe another area back here as well. But I'm more concerned about where the recycle phase is going through, which would be right here. So we'll watch and make sure that doesn't start to tighten up again. Fortunately, I don't see any big populated. I see a few highways though, and we'll pull that highway information here in a second. Let's go back to Twitter and let's see if I can find some more photos in regards to that tornado warning storm. Probably was rain wrapped, so people aren't really going to have any good photo. There's that photo again. Still probably the best photo that we're going to see all day of the tornadoes in Texas, I would imagine. Probably the best one we're going to see. This was from earlier as it approached the Dayton, Texas area. When we went live, we were on the tornado warning that was impacting the area. So this was the tornado. And then we had another radar confirmed tornado, but we did not have eyes on it. Nobody had eyes on it. But that's definitely probably the best tornado picture you're going to see of the day, I'd imagine. High up on a bridge and getting some footage of that tornado as it was going through population. You can see buildings on the horizon here. So this tornado is actively going through populated areas. There's homes down here. So hopefully everybody's okay in that region of the country. If you're in the Texas area and you're in this tornado watch, we are going to remain live until I think the threat is over for the most part, or until things calm down. But the only tornado warning currently out is this one near Dayton Lakes. That's the one we're monitoring right now. Let's go back to velocity and see if we got any type of movement that's enhancing yet. So we're watching the recycle phase right here. Let's see if my play mode will go far enough. So you can kind of see where the tighter area of rotation was back here. It weakened out, and then now it looks like it's starting to do maybe a little recycle here. We'll see what it does on the next few scans. I think we just got a new scan there. Still trying. Right in here. Can you guys hear those cops on the live stream? Like a whole police department driving by my apartment right now. Yeah, let's hope we don't have any. I don't see any photos of any type of destruction. However, there was a pretty good correlation coefficient drop that occurred, and correlation coefficient pretty much picks up anything that's abnormal. So you have like debris, for example. And we had a really good indication that a tornado was on the ground when it was just north of Dayton, approaching the Kennefic area. So hopefully on this tornado warning storm, there wasn't any damage. And then on the one that with the picture, likely going to be damage from this one. I don't know how you avoid any damage with population. That's got to be a tornado. It's the most obvious thing I've ever seen. But there's probably going to be damage along its path, I'm assuming, right through this region here. So hopefully nobody's hurt. Hopefully everybody took the warning serious and sought to shelter in time. Yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. Yeah, Texas is huge, man. So the first time I drove through Texas, I drove from, I was coming out of Louisiana, and I drove straight across to Amarillo, and I think it took me like a whole day, like 2 whole days to drive through it. I had to stop, and it was like 24 hours. It was crazy. Anyways, if you're just tuning in, we are monitoring tornado warnings in Texas, including this confirmed tornado that was southwest of Kingwood, approaching the Dayton area earlier. And then we went over to a radar confirmed tornado on this storm that we're currently tracking in southeast Texas. This is, for reference, this is just outside Houston Metro, just northeast of the Houston Metro. There is a tornado watch that is currently out until 10 o'clock p.m. Central Time, and I'll actually put that in the header here so we know that. Tornado watch until 10 p.m. CST. All right, let me answer some questions here. Okay, nothing. Nobody's asking important questions right now. If you're in the path of this tornado, obviously, here's your tornado polygon. Not a lot of population in it, which is good. Kennefic, I would say you're okay now. Dayton Lakes, I'd say you're okay now. The only catch is there's more storms coming up behind. So this whole line of storms here could be tornado producers at any moment. Now it's extending all the way down into the Houston metro almost. So any of this area could be tornado producers. So we want to monitor that. Want to make sure we're not going to get snuck up on here in any of these populated areas. So we'll kind of pay attention to that. Let's take a look at velocity and see if we have anything that's starting to really get going here. Kind of a mess right now. Maybe some more action. So you can actually see a couple areas along this line of storms. You got areas back here near Aldine, Texas, that are trying to get tightened up a little bit. You have a storm here near Roman Forest, Texas, starting to try to get together, and then the one north of Dayton Lakes also trying to get together. So we'll have to monitor all three of those storms to make sure they're not going to start producing tornadoes. This one right now is the only tornado warned storm. Right here, I think would be the best area of rotation. Might have something trying to get up here as well. Still broad, still wide. So we don't know what it looks like from the ground, obviously. But for now, it's not producing a tornado right now. Let's see what they're saying here, see if any changes have been made. Tornado warning still exists for Liberty County. This is radar indicated rotation. This was a radar indicated tornado at one point. It's no longer a radar indicated tornado. Okay, so what is the probability of an Ef2 tornado or higher? Yeah, we can check. The Tornado Watch actually tells you. So if we go to probabilities, they have a low chance of Ef2 or tornadoes, and they said the probability of one or more strong Ef2 to Ef5 tornadoes is low and only 20%. So hopefully that answers your question. That's for that Tornado Watch. The probability of two or more tornadoes is moderate, 30%. So it's still not a very high chance of even for it. We've already had tornadoes, so technically this would be 100% because we already had 2 tornado reports. But from here on out, they have a 30% chance of a couple tornadoes and only a 20% chance of Ef2 to Ef5. Here are more probabilities: low for severe wind, low for wind greater than 65 knots, and very low for both severe hail and 2-inch or greater hail. So not a lot of hail expected, which is good. Let's continue our journey through the Twitter and see if we can get any more reports here. Here was a video of some rotating clouds, but nothing came of it. People just posting radar images. It's 99% of what it is, just radar images. So let's go back to our radar image. So it looks like for now they have let that tornado warning expire, which is good. Let's update this tornado watch for parts of Texas until 10 p.m. CST. So if you're just tuning in and you see tornado warning in Texas as the title of the video, we have a little bit of a break. Keep in mind this tornado watch goes until 10 o'clock. So at any moment, any of these storms are going to start firing up tornadoes again. Anything back here as well. Don't rule this area out. But more or less the region from Houston, gosh dang it, from Houston Metro all the way up through like the Kirbyville region. I think that's Kirbyville, Louisiana, all the way up through there. Any of this region could be producing tornadoes. Now it's just a waiting game to see which storm's going to do it first. Let's check out velocities, which storms are looking the healthiest. We have a couple areas here. Everything is so broad right now. There's nothing tight enough to make me feel like there's going to be a tornado happening anytime soon. And by soon, I mean like the next 10 minutes. Aldine, there's rotation basically right on top of you. So if you live in Aldine, you go outside and you look up, you're probably going to see some clouds rotating different directions. But nothing tight enough to be producing a tornado yet. Southeast of Roman Forest, another region. I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see these town names. There's Aldine. There is Roman Forest. So this storm right here may be trying to do something here. We'll see how that goes. And then this was the tornado warn storm and the tornado producer that has broadened out, but you still get an area of concern right there. We'll see what that does over the next few scans. And that will tell us exactly what's going to happen here over the next few minutes. Let me get back to chat here and answer any questions. If you guys are from Texas and you're watching, thanks for joining. Everything is bigger in Texas, yeah. Why is there a tornado watch even though it's only a 2%? Yeah, that's a good point. So just because it's only a 2% doesn't mean so it's hard to explain. So when it comes to percentages on tornado outlooks, the higher the percentage, more or less the greater chance of widespread tornadoes, right? So 2% means, yeah, there could be 5-6 tornadoes, but they're probably going to be from the same storm system, or they're going to be from one or two storms. When you get like those 10%, 15% tornado probabilities, you're talking, okay, tornadoes are coming out of every storm that starts to rotate. It could be 5, 6, 10 storms that produce tornadoes over a larger area. That's kind of what you get at. And then 2%, it's like, okay, you're going to get a couple baby weak tornadoes. We call them bird fart tornadoes that are going to come out of maybe one or two storms. That's why. And then, but that still justifies a tornado watch because, you know, there's still tornadoes happening and they still have confidence that they're going to happen. It's pretty tough though to put a tornado watch on this one considering the probabilities are so low. But they made the pull. But the thing is, they didn't put the tornado watch out until there were 2 confirmed tornadoes on the ground. So that's probably why the storm system might have been overperforming, and that's why they put that tornado watch out. Yeah, there's definitely lots of rotation up and down these storms. We'll have to see whether my focus right now is this Aldine storm right back here, just because it's the southernmost portion of this giant glob of storms. And that usually is better because you get all that inflow punching into we call them tail end Charlies. Pretty much storms that are on the very tail end of mesoscale systems. It's still trying to get going a little bit right there, just east of Aldine now. You have a couple other, now this storm right here is starting to really tighten up as well. North of Dayton Lake starting to get together a little bit now. And then you have a broad area of rotation here, Roman Forest and Plum Grove, Texas. I would definitely be careful with this right here. Starting to come together a little bit now. North of Dayton Lakes, Texas. We'll see what they do with that storm. Then you have another area up here of rotation, southwest of Warren, Texas. That's starting to tighten up a little bit. Again, all up and down. Let's circle them. So, oh, come on. So right here, rotation 1. Geez, Zach. Rotation area 1, rotation area 2, 3, and 4 that I can see right here on radar. Let's switch over to reflectivity. And so that's where they're at in comparison to the set of storms. So every blue circled area in this storm cluster is rotating. Whether they produce or not, is up to Mother Nature herself. We'll find out. But all 4 of those areas, and you can see where you got a little bit of an inflow notch happening here. So that storm that's the north of Dayton Lakes probably has the greatest chance of doing something here. Maybe a little bit of action down here near Aldine as well. Let's wait for the next radar scan. If you're just tuning in, we are monitoring tornado watch number 13 across portions of Texas, southeast Texas, to include areas like the Houston metro. And then now we're monitoring 4 different storms that are starting to spin pretty good here. Now we're just waiting to see the progress of them. Will they produce tornadoes? Will they not? That's what we're waiting for. I'm going to answer some questions here of anybody that's in the area while we have time. Got some rotation in your area, okay. Zach, do you think tomorrow's risk will be upgraded from marginal to slight for Alabama and Mississippi? That's a great question. I was just thinking about that on my way home. We're getting a pretty good ice event up here, so I was out seeing if anybody was in the ditch or not. And on my way home, I was thinking, man, I wonder if they upgrade to slight tomorrow if these storms start overproducing. So that's what we're waiting on. I will check that forecast tonight, Kevin, and I'll post it on my YouTube community page as well as the Discord chat. And then I think it might, or we'll take a look at it here before the video is over. If you want to hang tight, we'll take a look at it too. Again, tornado watch is issued for parts of Texas until 10 p.m. There were 2 active tornado warnings when we went live. There was 1 tornado warning southwest of Kingwood that was actively producing a tornado. It went away, and then we started following another storm that was a confirmed tornado. Both of those have expired now, so we're just waiting for storms to get going again here. Let's go and pause. Let's go back to velocity, see if we have any updates here. So we do have a radar scan update. That's it's about the same there. Maybe an area here also trying to tighten up a little bit. Plum Grove area, you're still pretty broad. I wouldn't issue a tornado warning for that region yet. The area that I was looking at right through here has also broadened out just a tad, but there's still a little bit of rotation happening in there, right? It could tighten up right in this region. So we need to be watching that. Another area up here starting to really come together. That's 2 radar scans in a row for southwest of Warren, Texas. That is showing an area of tightening rotation. So these storms are definitely moving. Now we just have to see what they do. Will they produce tornadoes? Will they be tight enough to at least get tornado warnings out? There are no tornado warnings currently in effect. However, there easily could be 3 or 4 if these storms start to get together, especially probably the one north of Dayton Lakes as well as the one southwest of Warren, Texas. Those 2 are the best looking rotating storms as we currently speak. San Antonio, you are not in the tornado watch. You are well west of it. We are in southeast Texas right now. Just north and northeast of Houston Metro is where these bigger storms are happening. Right here's Houston. Boop, can you guys see that? Yeah. And then these areas of rotation are right here. There's some area right here, right here, right here, right here. I can circle a lot of areas that are rotating, but none of them can be circled that can give me confidence that are producing tornadoes. I think this one up here to the north is so far the best one as of right now. And then this one north of Dayton Lakes is also looking good. I think this one up north near Warren was by itself. Yeah, it's kind of by itself too. So that's something to be worried about. You get a storm that it's kind of connecting right there, but you get a storm that's kind of separated from the rest of the pack. You might have a better chance at seeing a tornado out of it. Okay. Okay, so while there's still no tornado warnings, let's get back to Twitter. For those who are just tuning in to the live stream, I know we've had a few people join us since we went live in the last 20, 30 minutes or so. This was the best tornado picture of the day so far, okay? This was the tornado that was southwest of Kingwood, near Humboldt, Texas, kind of back towards the Houston metro, probably in the Houston metro, depending on Right there's the tornado in the shot. That was in population. Okay, you can tell by the buildings, right? And there's homes and there's interstates. You can see highways and off ramps. So this is a populated area where this tornado went through earlier. So hopefully nobody was injured from this tornado. That's what we can hope for at this time. Yeah, guys, I can't get to all the little towns in Texas, especially considering I don't know the town names or where those are at. The best thing to do is just to look up the radar on your phone. I'll get to them if I can, but my focus right now is Southeast Texas. If you see your town name on here, but we're focusing right here's Houston. Okay, right where I just circled pink. I know it's hard to see. And these line of storms go all the way up northeast of Houston, kind of dipping into Louisiana right now. This is northwest of Baymont. This storm down here looked like it's kind of looking suspicious. Let's pull velocity and see what it looks like here. This is the one near Aldine. This whole storm has been rotating for a while. Still showing about the same though. A little weak rotation there near Aldine. Let's go northeast. Yeah. Still this area. Okay, radar update here. Still this area right here north of Dayton Lakes is a concern. This storm up here, I don't know. It's trying west of Warren, but not quite getting the job done yet. I wish I would have saved that correlation coefficient drop so we could have I could have showed you guys. Where did this happen in Texas? This is Southeast Texas, north of Houston. Let's go back. I know a lot of people are tuning in here in the last few minutes. Debbie asks, is it unusual for tornadoes in January? No, not at all, especially in the South. Anywhere from, I would say, Dallas east, across East Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. Those are areas that see tornadoes from November through March. So this is not, it's not super unusual to see a tornado this far south, that close to the Gulf of Mexico in January. Storms don't try. Yeah, they do. Northeast of Houston area. Yes, this is northeast of the Houston area. This tornado was, I think, due north of Houston, if I recall correctly. We can pull it up here. Yeah, so this tornado, when it happened, it was near Humble. So right here is Humble, and here's Houston Metro. So it was pretty close to Houston, but just north of when that tornado occurred. And now we're monitoring this entire region right through here, and then maybe some scattered potential back here as well. All surrounding the Houston area. There is a tornado watch currently out to include areas of Houston, Texas, Lufkin, Texas, Port Arthur, Texas, and it stops right at the Louisiana line. So kind of interesting. They didn't push it. So that means that Lake Charles National Weather Service and Shreveport didn't want a tornado watch in their state, which is fine. Probably not likely to see tornadoes go that far into Louisiana. Really just a tiny area here in Southeast Texas. Well east of San Antonio, well east of Austin. Really small area. North of Galveston, pretty much just Houston and Lufkin, Texas. This is pretty much the main areas there in Texas. Try to catch up on some comments here. I know some people are complaining. March through June in what? Oh, hold on. I probably missed something up here. Hold on. I had a bait shop there in 1980. Where at? In Humble, Texas? Jim's in from East Texas. Perfect timing, Jim. You're coming in at the right time. Yeah, guys, what I'm meaning is I'm not physically possible. It's not physically possible for me to name every town you guys are asking to see. I can't get to every town, especially I don't know towns. So that's why I'm saying just check your weather app check a radar on your phone. It'll give you an idea of when it's coming to you. I'll do my best to answer your questions, but I don't know where 99% of those towns are. Humble. Okay, yeah. Rain has stopped where I am in East Texas. Okay. We'll pull up East Texas a little bit here. So it's kind of, unless you're in this portion of East Texas and Western Louisiana, that's where all the heavy rain is coming down. Everywhere else is kind of scattered. And then you got your severe storms trying to get going back here, and then maybe some back here. But a lot, as you can tell, it's really scattered. There's not a lot of like huge areas of rain. It's really small, which is good for supercell development. You want those storms to be a little isolated. It's easier to develop some tornadoes when you get those isolated storms, because the surface base winds coming out of the south is easier to get to the base of the storm than it is when it's QLCS, when it's kind of a linear event. I still think we're going to get somewhere down in the southern portion of this storm. I think we'll get another tornado warning here soon. We're going to wait a little bit and see what happens. Let me get back to some questions here. Orlando for 40 years. Well, you made the right move, I think. It's much warmer there. Memphis in the building. Thanks for being here, Memphis. Is anybody watching football? I'm totally watching football right now. I'm watching the Broncos and the Chiefs play as I'm giving you guys tornado warning updates. So if you're just now tuning in, I know the title of the video says tornado warning in Texas, right? Well, we were tracking a tornado warning for like the first 20, 30 minutes. No tornado warnings currently. They've kind of scattered. However, we're watching a storm that's really rotating in like 4 different places. So we're waiting to see if it recycles and starts producing more tornadoes. We do have 2 confirmed tornadoes, at least that I know of, inside the current tornado watch that has been issued across parts of southeast Texas until 10 o'clock p.m. Central Time. This includes the Houston Metro. We only have one image of one of the confirmed tornadoes that I know of. This was southwest of Kingwood near Humboldt, Texas. Lots of population in that area. I haven't seen any reports of like injuries or anything. So that's good, I guess. But I'm sure as the day goes on, we'll start seeing some pictures of damage as well. But there was a pretty good correlation coefficient drop as the storm was moving through the region. So I'm one good correlation coefficient drop on the radar confirmed tornado. This was not spotted by anybody that the National Weather Service knows of. This was radar confirmed earlier near Dayton, Texas. That had a really good correlation coefficient. But hey, I live in Humble. Well, you probably could have looked out your window and saw that. This was near Humble. I don't know if you can recognize any of the roads on this picture or not, being from that area. If you could like identify maybe these buildings here in the background where that tornado's just passing near. Yeah, that's fine, Kevin. If you have it, go ahead. I don't know if you can post photos in the chat. Can you post photos in the chat? I don't think you can. If you can't, send it to me on Twitter if you have a Twitter. Touchdown 21-17. I'm looking right at it. I must have missed that. It's right here, like right here. Like you guys are here. My TV is right behind you. And I'm watching the Broncos and the Chiefs right now as we wait for another tornado warning to go out. Only a matter of time. Pretty quiet right now. I feel like this happens a lot. Whenever I get on here to do a live stream, all of a sudden the tornadoes are like scared to come out. So here's a updated velocity scan. Here are the last few minutes. This is 3 minutes old now. So you can see an area here starting to tighten up again. We'll see if that's enough for National Weather Service or not. Go a little bit further north. We have another area of tightening rotation right there. This is kind of like multiple areas of just broad rotation right through here. We'll see if maybe something happens right here. And then back near Humble again, Humble, Texas, another area of some rotation, but nothing tight enough to be tornado warned or to be a concern. Let me pull this photo back up real quick. I'm going to close out this. If you guys want, if you have this or not, or if you want to download it, we have a public Discord chat. If you guys have heard of Discord, it's like a public chat room. You guys can get in there and post like pictures of storms, anything that you guys want to talk about, weather-wise. Keep it civil, of course. You guys can talk about that in this chat room. I'll drop a link here and I'll pin it to the page. In there, you can actually post pictures of in this chat of storms that you guys may see at your house, and then I can post it live on the stream. So pinned now to that chat, to our chat here on YouTube, is that Discord chat. So you can get in there, sign up. I think you have to submit like an email. Just put a fake email down. I don't really care. And you get in there, and you can actually join. And yeah. Again, so if you're just now tuning in, we are monitoring a tornado watch in the area. No tornado warnings as of right now, according to my radar. We're waiting for it to get reissued. When we went live, there were 2 tornado warnings on the ground. That's why it says tornado warning in Texas on the screen. But we are currently waiting to see. It's actually worked really well. We actually have adults in the chat. People are actually doing pretty good in the chat room right now. And yeah. Can I beatbox? No, I cannot beatbox. It's pronounced humble. Well, I'm going to call it humble because I don't know if that's true or not. Because there is an H in front of it. They have a silent H in humble. That's kind of weird. Some of this area that saw the tornado earlier is actually seeing the tornado again. Or not tornado again. Seeing storms again. Sorry. The area, so like Humble and Kingwood, that were under those tornado warnings earlier and had a confirmed tornado pretty much right in between those 2 towns, are seeing some severe storms again. Or I guess not severe because it's not even severe warned right now. Or seeing some thunderstorms again. How about that? It is true, really. It's humble. That's so weird. Why would they? That's so weird. I'll trust you guys, though. It's not very humble of them. That's a terrible joke. That's a dad joke. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're just kind of waiting right now. Again, when we went live, there were tornado warnings out the wazoo. I think there was 3 or 4 tornado warnings when I went live. They quickly dropped to 2, and then we had 2 confirmed tornadoes on 2 tornado warning storms. And so we were like switching back and forth, trying to keep up with everything. It was tough there for a second. The first maybe 20, 25 minutes of the stream was nothing but tornadoes on the ground. We were monitoring it. And then now these storms are kind of, I think, doing like a little recycle phase. We'll see what they do here over the next scans. We'll take it to the top of the hour of the chat, which is, we're at 55 minutes right now. And then we'll go from there and see what storms are doing. If you're just now tuning in and you're from Southeast Texas where these storms are happening, give yourself a shout out. Let me know where you're from. People are humble. Man, it's so weird. It's so weird. There was a tornado in Missouri that I chased, and the name of the town was pronounced Hayti, but I was pronouncing Haiti because it's Hayti. It's Haiti, Missouri, and apparently the town's called Hayti. And I said that on a live stream one day, and a bunch of people from that area were like, "It's Hayti, it's Hayti." I'm like, "Okay, don't shoot me." But it was just, I pronounce town wrong a lot of times, so. The H is silent. That's crazy. Well, I learned something every day. But thank you guys for tuning in. We are monitoring a tornado watch for parts of Texas, Southeast Texas, to include the Houston metro until 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. There already have been a couple of tornadoes in the area. One tornado near Kingwood and Humble, which is this one. And then we had a confirmed tornado on radar near Dayton, Texas, as well as Dayton Falls, Texas, in that region. So we've been monitoring a couple of tornadoes. The storms have kind of lightened up a little bit for us. On my Twitter page. Okay, I'll get there. Let me pull up my Twitter. I'm going to show you guys what the CC drop is. Thanks so much, Kevin, for that. Oh, it's even got my face on it too. Awesome. So this is what the... Oh, I'm going the wrong way. This is what the correlation coefficient drop showed earlier. So you see the dark blue going on here. So what this correlation coefficient does, it picks up debris scatter, right? Anything that's being tossed up and the radar is grabbing it, right? Whether it's trees, cars, anything, leaves even. You can sometimes get CC drops in the fall when there's a lot of inflow in storms of leaves will be blown everywhere, especially off the trees. But right here circled in pink, let's do a better color that you guys can actually see that. Right here circled in blue is that correlation coefficient drop. This was as it was, it looks like as it was going into like the Dayton, Texas area. That was the radar confirmed tornado. This is why it was radar confirmed. Those dark blues definitely indicate a tornado was on the ground at some point. With that type of debris ball, you would think there would be damage. I haven't seen anything yet, but we'll wait. Thank you so much, Kevin, for sharing that with me. That was from our stream earlier. Yeah, that's actually a good point. I can actually check the maps and see if there's any like maybe traffic hazards or anything appearing. Let's see. So there's Houston. Someone said they were from Cleveland, Tennessee earlier. Okay, where the heck did? I'm just have to Google. I lost where it was. Dayton, Texas. There it is. Crazy how close these were to the Houston metro area. I'm not seeing any significant traffic hazards right now. I am seeing traffic slow down north of Humble, where that first tornado was reported. So it makes you wonder there. Okay, Kevin, bye-bye. What is my Twitter? It is at... Hold on. Let me get over there. It is at Zach Walters WX. I'm going to post an at on the... it's at Zach Walters WX. You guys can get over there. Near Cleveland. Okay, Cleveland, Texas. Yeah, I was just looking at Cleveland, Texas. You guys, I think, just missed that area. Anything coming towards College Station, Texas? There is a tornado watch just east of you, but I think you're in the safe now. Yeah, no, they missed the playoffs. Yeah, who missed the playoffs? Broncos did, right? So this game, yeah, they're 7-9. Yeah, they definitely missed the playoffs. Still fighting for it though, which is cool. I can see there is a massive tornado right when there are loads of tornadoes. Yeah, absolutely. Jasper, Texas. I don't know where Jasper, Texas is. I've seen a couple people ask about Jasper, so I will actually Google this. Jasper, Texas. I think you're in the tornado watch, aren't you? Yeah, you're in the tornado watch. I think all these storms are kind of moving up that direction. Let's see where you're at here. Where are you at compared to Lake Charles? You're northwest of. Okay, you're right there. Okay. You guys are definitely getting a lot of rain right now in Jasper. But see the motion of these storms, they should be kind of pushing up this direction. So over here, over the next hour or two, I would watch these storms to the south that have a history of producing tornadoes. Definitely monitor those. We're also monitoring different winter weather advisories all across the Midwest, including an ice storm. That's where I was earlier because I'm from that area. I was watching, I was out, looking for like traffic and stuff like that in the ditch, but I couldn't find any. I was driving just fine in the ice. Biggest airport in Houston is in Humble. which is why traffic is always bad, plus heavily populated. Yeah, makes sense, I guess. Oh, it's from the heavy rain. That makes sense. Thanks, John. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That makes total sense. Thank you. See, sometimes even I need somebody from the chats to help me out a little bit. My brain stops working sometimes. That makes sense. Thank you guys so much for the support. I know we have a couple of people just randomly getting mad at me. I don't know why, but thank you guys so much for the support. Means a lot. Again, we're still monitoring the tornado watch across parts of southeast Texas until 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I was not expecting this much tornado activity in Texas today. I definitely wasn't expecting a tornado watch. I know there was a 2% tornado risk that was out today. And then all of a sudden when I got home, I was getting notifications on like Twitter and through my Discord chat about, hey, there's tornado warnings in Texas, tornado warning in Texas. I was like, okay, I should probably go live and talk about it. We came on here, we went live as there was about 4 tornado warnings. 2 of them were on the ground. And now they've kind of dissipated over the last 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes. And all we're doing is waiting for them to kind of get going again. Batston, Texas in the house. Thank you so much for being here. Some people are in Houston. Houston is under that tornado watch. We're no longer in Kansas, Toto. I wish there was something happening so I could talk about it. Let's look at velocity again. It's been a few minutes since we've actually pulled, probably a few scans now. So there's just a couple areas that I've really been trying for the last few minutes. This looks a lot better though than it did. You got areas right here, just east and northeast of Plum Grove, Texas, which is southeast of Cleveland, Texas. And then you have another area here, again, east and southeast of Cleveland, right next to each other. Those have definitely started to look better over the last few minutes. So we could have something starting to get going again here. And then still monitoring a little bit of rotation back here near Oakhurst, Texas, which is where those traffic hazards, which is where these traffic hazards are. And then again, we're watching these 2 areas of rotation here. This one back closer to Plum Grove, Texas being the best one so far. We're also monitoring an area up here. It's kind of still pretty broad. That's south of Woodville, northwest of Warren in Texas. So we might have a couple of storms here trying to make a run at some rotation, or it's definitely rotating, but trying to make a run at a tornadic supercell. This one as well. I'm definitely enjoying how this one near Plum Grove looks. We'll see if it continues over the next scan. There are still no tornado warnings yet for these storms. There's population in here. So even though there's no towns, I know there's population in here. These storms are kind of doing one of these to the northeast. So kind of running towards the Warren, Texas area. But again, we'll just wait and see what the National Weather Service decides here, if those are credible velocity scans for a tornado warning or not. Had the heater on this morning and now have the AC on. The warm Gulf air has taken over again here in Texas. Absolutely. So that's pretty much what's happening here with this tornado system, is that you have southerly winds coming in from the south that are pushing all that moisture into southeast Texas. All that Gulf of Mexico moisture dew point's really high now. So it's raising the temperature, of course, which is causing it to be a little bit more humid than you would expect in January. And that's why you're getting some rotating thunderstorms and tornadic storms. We got a fumble. Chiefs picked it up. Oh, they ruled it incomplete. Okay. Sorry, I'm watching the Chiefs and Broncos game at the same time, giving you guys updates. Fortunately, no tornadic storms right now. However, I think we're going to get one here very soon. I think we're getting a lot of area of rotation starting to ramp up again near Cleveland, Texas, near Plum Grove, Texas. We even have some areas of hail appearing on radar, even though there's not a lot of hail expected. There's little purple indicators there. That's your hail being picked up there on radar. Thank you guys so much for joining the Discord server. Let me pull up integrated liquid here and see what we got for hail. So you do have some areas here that are producing hail, which is good I guess not good if you don't want a tornado. So what happens is when you get thunderstorms that are producing hail, it means they have good updrafts, right? Updrafts are part of the storm that's going up towards the atmosphere and it's suspending raindrops, right? So the stronger the updraft, the longer the raindrops have to stay up in the clouds, right? Which creates bigger hailstones, and eventually gravity takes over, hailstones fall to the earth. So when you get really strong updrafts, Kansas and Nebraska are really known for their strong updrafts and big hailstones. Whenever you get those powerful updrafts, you get these bigger totals of hail. You also get higher chances for tornadoes as well. So we'll see how that trends. That's the most updated radar. We'll see how this trends when you get stronger updrafts producing some bigger hail. Sometimes it could mean some tornadic activity. So we'll monitor that. Pull up velocity again, see if it's updated. It has a little. Again, still looking at some tightening areas of rotation back here. Not enough to warrant a tornado warning just yet. This is northeast of Plum Grove, Texas, southeast of Cleveland, Texas, moving towards the Warren, Texas area. So we're monitoring that. This is all part of that tornado warning that is in effect until 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time across a very tiny portion of southeast Texas. Now, if this were like Rhode Island, this would probably be the entire state. Texas is huge, obviously, so this is considered tiny. But definitely a tiny little region there in southeast Texas. This includes the Houston Metro, Lufkin, Texas, just east of College Station by one county, Port Arthur, Texas, and it stops right at the Louisiana county line. So you can kind of identify where you live in this map. If you're in East Texas, south of Longview, Texas, you're probably in that tornado watch. Oh, crap. Hold on. If it's your first time here, guys, I was almost to 4,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can pass that. But if it's your first time here, guys, my name is Storm Chaser Zach Walters. I've been a storm chaser for about 10 years. I just recently started getting into the YouTube stuff and doing some live streams when I'm not chasing. So please subscribe, like the video. It helps out a ton going in the future. Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you so much for finding me. We're currently tracking a tornado watch that's been issued across portions of southeast Texas. The Lone Star State? Is that what they call it? The Lone Star State until 10 o'clock p.m. Central Time. The only big areas of population are Houston, Lufkin, Texas, Port Arthur, Texas. There are some smaller areas in that tornado watch as well. Areas like I think Cleveland, Texas. We've had a couple of tornado reports already today. When we went live earlier, we were monitoring like 4 tornado warnings. We're now down to 0. We're waiting for maybe some more to start. But we were monitoring 4 tornado warnings and 2 confirmed tornadoes when we went live earlier. That was way earlier in the broadcast. We're now about 45 minutes away down the road from that. This picture here is from the Kingwood and Humboldt, Texas region. They're in southeast Texas. Let me catch up on chats here. Houston does flood a lot. Houston is known for its floods. What was it? Someone who's in the Houston area remind me, when did they have that huge flood? I think it was caused by the hurricane. I can't recall, but they had interstates completely underwater. I can't remember when that was, though, but I remember seeing pictures of it. Houston's definitely known for their flooding. Harvey, 2007. Thank you. Hurricane Harvey, 2017. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. That's right. Hurricane. Yeah, that was the big one. That's probably the worst flooding I would say I've seen. Personally, I know Katrina was really bad as well, but I think Harvey, just with the flood, Definitely did its damage. But there's so many different storms. I see people posting other storms as well in the chat. There's so many different storms that have caused flooding in Houston. It's just terrible. Hurricane Harvey was the one I was thinking of, though. Only a foot above sea level. Okay, I didn't know that. The highway system is designed as a storm retention. Interesting. I did not know that. I learned something new every day. And if you're humble, stay safe. Yes, I do remember Harvey just being absolutely terrible. People have, was it $1 billion disaster? I think it ended up being. Yeah, Hurricane Katrina was more of a Louisiana flood disaster, not so much Texas. Last time Houston had bad tornadoes was in November 21st, 1992 during the outbreak. Okay. So Houston's more of like a hurricane area is what I'm getting at. It's not so much a tornado region. More of a hurricane and flooding type of deal. I got to drive through Houston back in May. We chased a tornado in southeast Texas, but closer to like San Antonio. I got to drive through Houston on the way home. I thought it was a beautiful city. Let me make sure we're not missing anything here on radar. Swamp boats came out to rescue. Okay. Needless to say, I'm moving back to the mountains. One tornado hit downtown Ef2 back in November 1993. Interesting. Should anybody in Louisiana be worried, prepared? Probably not. The tornado warning does not extend into Louisiana, and the 2% tornado threat does not include that area. Last time I checked, I still don't think it is, but we can verify. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? So we're going to pull up today's day one outlook. So they do have, oh no, I'm sorry. That's not it. So they do have the 2% a little bit further east now, right here in this portion of Louisiana. So you might have a tornado or two in that area. But what we're looking at right now, that is not the case. But of course, anything could happen. We can get a random storm that pops up in portions of the western part of Louisiana. So we'll monitor that as well. Any tornado warnings that go up, we'll monitor that as well. Right now, we're just in the region of storm coverage where we went live, multiple tornado warnings, and now we have none. So we're just kind of waiting. Still tracking tornado watch, though. So at any moment, we're also monitoring some areas of rotation here in southeast Texas. Looks like maybe right here still, right here as well. Looks like back towards Roman Forest is kind of weakened out quite a bit. All these storms are really attempting to do something. They're working on it, trying to get there, and they're just not quite getting there. So we're just kind of waiting to see what they trend. I'm answering some questions here to burn some time. Talking about the Houston flooding from a few years ago. Can't believe it's already been that long. Almost 5 years now since that flooding. Galveston is south of the tornado watch. Probably not much going on down there right now. I don't see a lot of stuff. You might be able to see some land spouts there in Galveston. Probably some not land spouts, geez, water spouts right here. Maybe water spout right there as well. But I don't see much happening in Galveston. They're south of that tornado watch. I think they're out of the tornadic conditions for the day. But you might be able to see a little water spout there off the coast if you have some binoculars, maybe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for asking questions. I love answering questions. I love talking to people. It's kind of my thing here on this channel is getting to know my viewers and getting to know people who live in the area of the threat for severe weather. Montgomery County in Texas, there was a tornado warning earlier. I think maybe a confirmed tornado as well. I don't know where you are compared to areas like Humble or Kingwood, but that's where the tornado was reported earlier. I think that was the Montgomery County region. Wyatt asks, anything interesting on the outlook this week? I think we have a tornado. We have tornado chances tomorrow across parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. I know that's weird. Not weird, but I know that's something to talk about. Other than that, I think just your regular snow events across the north. There was potential for maybe another winter storm dipping across portions of the country going into next week. So we'll have to monitor that. Okay, let's see here. We got some. As a severe weather fanatic and aviation fanatic, it's always interesting to watch these videos and watching planes on flight radar. Oh, that's a great point. I didn't think of that. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Watching the plane's path compared to where the storms are. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Central Illinois, you guys are dealing with a lot of ice right now. I was actually just in Central Illinois earlier. I was in the Champaign-Urbana area covering some ice potential. It got pretty dangerous there for a minute. Cars were slid off in the ditch, but nothing significant that I saw. I came back to Indiana by early afternoon, waiting for that possible polar wind in a couple weeks. Yeah, we'll see. We're just getting started. I mean, it's only January 8th, so winter weather really just now getting going. And then for the south areas like East Texas, all the way through Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana, their tornado season is just starting as well. So we'll have to monitor all of that. Make sure we're not going to. I should probably check as well to make sure I don't need to be on the road chasing tornadoes tomorrow in the south, which I don't think I will be, but monitor that as well. But if you're just tuning in, Tornado Watch parts of Texas till 10 o'clock p.m. CST. We're just waiting for new warnings to be issued. We've been on for about an hour, 18 minutes now. When we first came on, it was craziness. I mean, there were tornado warnings just up and down the Houston metro area. That's not the case right now. We're kind of waiting to see if we get something going here. Let me check. Thank you guys so much for subscribing as well. We did hit 4,000 subscribers just off of this live stream. So I want to thank you guys personally for that. Truly means a lot to me. I've worked hard to get where I'm at, and I really appreciate every single one of you that comes in here and leaves me something positive in the chats and gets involved, asks questions. This is all for you guys. I really appreciate it. Looks like the algorithm is working pretty well as well. Every time I do a live from a portion of the country, I see a lot of people that live in that area start to comment. So it's kind of cool to see. I don't think I had any subscribers from Southeast Texas and the Houston area until this stream started. So thank you guys so much for being here. It truly means a lot to me. If you're part of the Discord chat, which is linked there in the chat room, you can get in there and ask me any questions throughout the day. You can just at my name, Zach Walters, and you can ask any questions you need. I'll answer them 99% of the time. If I miss it, just ask it again. But that's completely free to you guys. That's for just being subscribers on the YouTube or just being viewers. I mean, you don't have to subscribe to be a part of that Discord. I asked to be subscribed if you want to be in there, but you can be in there even if you don't want to subscribe. It's completely up to you. In Memphis, Tennessee, is it coming our way? No, it won't go that far north. I think you guys are probably raining pretty good there in Memphis, aren't you? I'd imagine. What is that drawing thing? Oh, you're talking about the little pen here? This is called Epic Pen. It's a computer writer, like a screenwriter. I can do like all kinds of stuff on it. So that way I can, because when I'm talking, I like to circle things. That way you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So if I'm talking about this storm, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. It's a cool little thing. It's called Epic Pen. I think it's free. It should be free on your. Zach, do you think we will have warnings in Texas? We had a few tornado warnings earlier on this storm system that we're watching here on radar. We're just waiting to see if it starts doing stuff again. I said we go to about the top of the hour. We're about 8 minutes away from the top of the hour, and we'll see what it does from there. Because about that point, we'll be live for about 90 minutes. Beaumont, Texas. Oh, I think you guys are under the tornado watch, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull up the tornado watch here. Yeah, you guys are in that tornado watch there in Beaumont, Texas. So keep an eye on it. We got storms firing to the southwest of Beaumont. Any one of these storms could maybe start rotating as they get up in this direction. So just keep an eye to the sky. Have a way to receive warnings. I'll keep you updated on here as well. Lots of wind, rain, and lightning from Christy. She's in Vernon Parish near the Texas border. So she's in Louisiana. It's kind of cool how they call them parishes there instead of counties, right? It's not counties. It's not Vernon County. It's Vernon Parish. That's kind of cool. Just talked to my girlfriend from Ontario, Canada. She landed in Dallas about an hour ago. Says very foggy. 2-hour layover. Crazy. So we got some fog in Dallas. Zach Walters is my favorite weather-loving human. Thank you so much, Flipper. I appreciate it. That means a lot to me. Thank you. Broncos 21, Chiefs 20. Yeah, I'm watching it. It may look like I'm staring at you guys, but I'm actually watching the TV because the Broncos game is on. I'm not a Broncos fan, but it's a good game. National Weather Service Houston, a special weather statement for strong thunderstorms has been issued in Cleveland, Texas, Splendora, Texas, Patton Village, Texas until 6:15 p.m. So the difference between a special weather statement and like a tornado warning is that it doesn't meet severe criteria. However, probably lots of lightning and flooding involved in it. That's why they put out a special weather. Thank you, Len, for that. Len is my go-to guy. He likes to hook me up with all the National Weather Service information. So thank you, Len. Appreciate it. Go Seahawks. We got some Seahawks fans in the chat. They play tonight, don't they? I'm pretty sure Seahawks play tonight. Katy, Texas. You're good. I think you are well west of the tornado watch. I think. If I know because I've heard of Katy, Texas before. Yeah, it's a good football game. I'm really enjoy watching it. If you hear me, whine or complain, neither one of these are my teams, but I admire your patience putting up with something. It happens. You get some people in the comments that try to be rude sometimes too, which I don't understand. I'm just trying to do my job, but I'm all here for it. It doesn't matter if the question seems stupid to you. I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability. I think this is one thing that maybe TV meteorologists failed to do is kind of interact with people on their videos. It's kind of nice being able to answer some questions, especially when we have some downtime. There's no tornado. Oh man, that's starting to hook a little bit. Especially when we have some downtime. I like to get in here and talk to you guys a little bit. Let's pull up velocity on this little hook. Oh man. Okay, so this should be taken as a tornado warning. There's no tornado warning. Plum Grove, that is tight rotation right now. This is part of a hook occurring on this storm. There should be a tornado warning on this storm right now. So here's your hook. Here's your area of rotation. Be concerning if you're in Plum Grove. Please be prepared. There is no tornado warning, though. Shockingly. I wonder why. That's definitely an area of concern right there. That is tight rotation happening. Not so much tightening on this side, though. Some bright pinks, but maybe that's just inflow that's being picked up there on radar. But if I'm looking at this as somebody, just first glance, I'm thinking there's a big tornado on the ground there, but there might be some inflow punching in there. But Plum Grove right in the path of that. And then you look at reflectivity and you have a nice curved signature, which is typical for tornadic storms. So let's monitor that for a couple of minutes. Let me answer any questions here. Woodville, Mary says possible CC drop. Okay, I'll take a look at CC once the next scan comes out so I can get a better view here. Check CC drop. Okay, a couple of people are telling me to check CC, so I should probably do that now. Let's check correlation coefficient here. Okay, so yeah, like right here. Let's wait for the next scan. The next scan might give me a better idea here. Because if that last scan is it currently happening, we should have a decent something happening right in here on that next CC drop scan. So let's give that a second. Definitely an area of rotation. This should be tornado 1 right here. That's probably a pretty decent wall cloud happening right there. Maybe they're thinking it's a little bit elevated. That's why there's no tornado warning, maybe. Maybe it's a little off the surface and they're not really concerned about a tornado forming out of this. However, pretty tight couplet happening right there. Due south of Plum Grove, northeast of Roman Force in southeast Texas. We're monitoring that. That was an update. So let's see if correlation coefficient is updated now. Yeah, so right here, guys, look at this. That right there, to me, appears to be a slight CC drop. That appears to me to be a potential tornado on the ground. If not, you're getting really strong inflows that are maybe kicking up something in there. That to me gives off, and see, the next scan doesn't show it. So that's why I was waiting for that next scan. The next scan does not show it, but it is showing something back here where that rotation was. So let's give that a second. So that rotation kind of went this direction. So let's give it a scan and see if there's anything that maybe was on the ground back here where that really tough rotation was happening. We still got rotation happening there southeast of Plum Grove. Still no tornado warning on it. I'm thinking that maybe it's a little elevated. Let's look at the echo tops. Let's see how tall these storms are, shall we? So some of these storms are pushing 40,000 feet. What's the difference between this and this? Yeah, that's the same thing. So these storms are pushing 40,000 feet. Plenty tall enough to be tornado producers. This is southeast Texas. This is just north of the Houston metro. While we wait a second, let's give that another scan. Let's give it a second here. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome. I live 30 minutes south of Plum Grove. What's the weather feel like there? 30 minutes south of Plum Grove. So you're probably maybe like in this region. What's your feel? Do you get a lot of wind going towards the north by chance? Okay. Population of Plum Grove is 551. It's not as much people. 4,000 feet high. It's plenty of loft. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm waiting to see if we get, because it's not there anymore, obviously, because we just pulled it. Come on, load. Let's give that a second. It's being a little slow. Yeah. Why are you not loading? Now it's not the. There we go. It was right here, right? Put it in motion here to see what it shows. Radar scope now decides to be slow. Let me check in on questions here. Discord is there. Should be pinned to the chat. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Really appreciate it. Thanks for joining the Discord chat. So, okay, so here it is in motion. So you see it right there. That, to me, at one point was a tornado on the ground. To me. I think that CC drop right there, that bright green that pops up right there and moves out of the screen, I think that was a CC drop. At one point or another, I think that was a tornado. That rotation was definitely tight. Now I'm going to watch this back here as well because it was a really wide area. So I want to make sure that's not it either. Let's pull up velocity again. It's broadened out a little bit, but look at the uptrend here in inflow. So red and pink, guys, are indicated by the winds moving away from the radar, right? So this is moving in this direction at a very high speed. And the green indicates radar or wind that's pushing towards the radar. We're using Houston. Houston radar is down that direction. And so when you get these winds moving opposite direction like that, that's when you get your area of tight coupling happening in there, or trying to now. And that's where your tornado would be. Southeast of Plum Grove. We're waiting. See what it does here. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Are you referring to the Discord? I would just say no. I don't know why it would make changes to your device. Houston. And nobody don't really like NWS Houston. I've heard that about a few National Weather Service offices that they kind of just don't really have faith in them much. But that's so far right now the best looking region of rotation. Again, for a brief second, I swore there was something on the ground there. Let's go back to correlation coefficient. See if it's updated yet. It's taking forever to pull CC. Radar is being a little slow, so we'll give it a second here. No video of the tornado in Texas near Houston. Yeah, all I saw was that one photo, which is crazy because it's a populated area. So I'm not seeing. Okay, there's that tornado warning. So they do have a tornado warning out now. There is a tornado warning on this storm. Finally, let's pull velocity. So let me update all this information here, so we can get back to. Let's switch back to this one. So there is now a new tornado warning on this storm. Again, I think they were just a little bit behind on that. I think there should have been tornado warning back here near Roman Forest as well. But definitely an area of tightening rotation there on the southwest portion of that tornado polygon, right where you would expect that tornado to be. Let's pull up the information and see what they're saying here. So it is moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. It is 8 miles south of Cleveland, Texas. This is radar indicated only, so no confirmation of a tornado on the ground. And it will expire at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Okay. So this storm, you can see again as it updates, another tightening rotation couplet there happening on the southern end of this storm. This is right next to Plum Grove, just east of. Let's pull it up on reflectivity. You still got a hook going on here. Okay. So you would expect your tornado to be right there on the southern end of that hook. That's kind of what's happening here. This would be pushing this direction through the tornado polygon. Tornado 1 polygon. Kind of a scattered velocity scan. However, right down in here where these bright pinks and these greens are mixing together, that would be concerning. And then watch this area as well. Maybe 2 areas of rotation starting there, but I'd be more concerned about that southern region than anything. Let's go ahead and pull correlation coefficient. Maybe something trying there, but that could just be inflow related. We'll give that a scan and wait a second here. But definitely an impressive little hook. So what happens is on these storms, you get your hail and your rain core up here, right? Wrapping, oh geez, I didn't click on it. Wrapping down through here like this. And then you get your inflow that punches in like this. So your inflow is coming in here. So what's happening is you get your wind speeds, probably coming from back behind the storm, that's pushing the storm northeast. And then you're getting your rotation tucked right into the southern end of that hook. That's what's happening right now. That's why there's a tornado warning. And that's why you're getting some decent velocity scans, especially coming from the southern end here of this rotation storm. Let me answer some questions here. Oh, yeah. You want to click yes on that then for the epic pin, because that's it's going to want to make changes because you want to write on the screen. Thank you so much, Kem, for the $10 donation. Thank you so much for being here. Love my channel. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. We are currently tracking a tornado warning in Texas. Thank you guys so much for being here. A lot of people from Texas as well. Zach, check Twitter when you have a minute. There's a new video of the tornado almost hit Houston. Okay, I'll check that one second. Can you tweet me, Kevin? Just at me so I can find it easier. Or you might have already done that. I don't know. Do I think Gonzales, Louisiana will see any severe thunderstorms tomorrow? Yeah. If you're in the southern, and I'll get into tomorrow here in a second. I'll show you guys tomorrow as well once this tornado warning is over with. So let's pull correlation because we just had an update here. Let's pull CC. I also like people that kind of know what CC is as well. I've seen a lot of people, like 3 people were like, hey, check CC. It's kind of nice because then people know what I'm talking about. So I'm not seeing anything alarming from the area in which rotation is occurring. So I would say right now, there is no tornado on the ground, just pulling CC. Let's go back to velocity. Velocity would say the same thing. Probably nothing on the ground yet, but you're getting still an area of tightening rotation. Sister, sorry. Sorry, Cam. It's hard to tell. I always say brother for some reason. I don't even understand. Thanks, sister. uh, but that's the area right now to be concerned with, the southern end of that tornado warned polygon. It's kind of hard to see the polygon, but it's right here. Still radar indicated, according to the National Weather Service, at 6:01 p.m., so about 5 minutes ago. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Plum Grove, or 8 miles south of Cleveland, in Texas, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. Okay, so that was about 5 minutes ago when they put that information out. We're still seeing that area of concern. I swear I'm clicking on it. It's just not area of concern right there, where these bright pinks and these greens are mixing together. And then here on reflectivity, you're seeing the hook attempting, right? It looked better there for a second, but you still have it there. So all this inflow kicking in from the south, causing this storm to rotate right here on the edge of that hook. That is due northeast of Plum Grove and just southeast of Cleveland, Texas. This is in southeast Texas. Okay, Vince retweeted. Okay. Let's go to Twitter real quick. We got some people reporting the tornado wants to do some shopping. Let me go to my friend Vince here. Apparently he retweeted a tornado video. Retweeted the tornado. Oh, okay. This is from earlier. Wow. Yeah, definitely. This is from earlier's tornado just north of the Houston metro area. This is the same storm system that's currently producing tornado warnings all across Texas. This is from earlier. You see it rapidly moving to the north and northeast. So that means they're probably west of it right now, watching it move. That's a pretty good video. That's the first video I've seen of the tornado there in the Houston metro earlier. The same storm system currently producing another tornado warning with that hook right there at the edge of where that tornado would be. Let's go back to velocity. Take a look. Still pretty broad, still pretty wide. It was tight there for briefly back down here near Plum Grove right before the tornado warning was produced, or we think maybe briefly a tornado might have occurred just south of that town. And it's now pushing up this way, and right here would be the biggest region of concern. However, it's broadened out a little bit. We've seen that all day. It's one of these type of storm systems where it becomes a tornado, really tight rotation, maybe does some damage, and then boop, and dissipates from there, and then kind of does a recycle. Texas is bipolar. Minor damage to buildings and no injuries so far. Okay, Vince said that. Okay. Absolutely. My thoughts are with everybody in the path of this storm system, as well as those who took damage earlier in the Houston metro region. Hopefully everybody's okay. I know there were reports of minor injuries, but no fatalities so far. So that's good. It seemed like a pretty small tornado. So that's great to know that no big tornadoes went through the area. But this is the same storm system, right? Same storm system that is producing tornadoes all day is once again produced a tornado warning and is attempting to do something. It is quickly broadening out a little bit on the rotation. Still an impressive hook though happening on this storm. It's kind of more like a upside down V, and then you get that inflow that's punching in right there. That's why you have your clear slot. There's no rain falling in this area, and then you get your tornado back here. So almost a textbook type supercell. It's on that tail end, Charlie. Here's the rest of the storm. So you just have a blob of rain and mess here, and then you get that little tail end Charlie storm right behind it that's trying to get together and get moving here. Okay, so it looks like now it's shifted, maybe done a recycle, a little bit tightening rotation now, a little bit further north in that ball that we were just looking at there on the hook. Let's see if we got anything going on here. Okay, so now we have a little bit of a CC drop occurring. This could mean a tornado on the ground. A little bit of a CC drop there, right where that rotation is going the tightest. I mean, literally right in the same. Oh, hold on. Let me do a better circle here. So here's the tightest rotation. Let's pull that up on correlation coefficient, see if it matches. It does. So we'll see what that means. There it is again, even better now on digital velocity. Storm relative velocity, a little bit. It's just as good. Digital velocity definitely has it going there. And then reflectivity, right where that ball is potentially being. This is about a minute behind, so right where that ball is. So this is a textbook tornadic supercell that's occurring right now in Southeast Texas. This is just south of Cleveland, Texas. Southeast Texas. It looks to be over a lot of open land. There's not a lot of population in here. The closest town is still the Plum Grove region, and somebody, I don't remember who, said that there was only 551 people in Plum Grove. Thank you for Googling that and looking that up for me. Apologize, I forgot who it was. So definitely an area to be concerned about. I think definitely right in here, you could have something going right where that CC drop is picking up on radar. There could be tornadic rotation happening in there. Let's see if they've updated. They still haven't updated. Still have it as radar indicated rotation. No confirmation of a tornado yet on this storm. However, this is still tornado warning. Take it obviously very serious. The path of this storm, moving northeast. I know there was a town up here called Warren because I was looking at it earlier. There's Warren. So that's way far northeast. I'm not worried about that right now. So now we just got to wait here and see what we get on the next update. There's another update on correlation coefficient, back to back now, showing a CC drop, indicating potential debris being lofted. Usually in an area like this, to be trees. So we're just waiting. Let's see what we do. Let's see what we got. So it's kind of broadened down just a tad on that next scan. However, that CC drop's still showing that it's still there, still potentially on the ground. We'll see if the National Weather Service happens to make a note of that in their tornado information, on the tornado warning information, if they indicate maybe a CC drop radar confirmed tornado or not. Let's look at reflectivity. Still got that nice hook. It's about a minute behind, but still got that nice hook with the ball right where that tornado would be located. That's more like up here now. I know I keep jumping between, but I keep having to look. So there's that CC drop. That's what I'm concerned about right now. It's just waiting to see if this comes out to be, I don't know what this is. This could be, it's got to be something getting tossed in the air. It's way too deep of a CC drop right where that rotation is to just be a convenience here. They still have it marked as radar indicated rotation. This tornado warning does expire in 14 minutes, so we'll see over the next 14 minutes whether it continues its trek and they should extend or not. Go back to velocity. It's kind of broadened out just a little bit, but that CC drop is just the concerning region. That's what we're waiting on. We're waiting to see. CC drops are hinting at a debris ball. We're just waiting to get any confirmation from the National Weather Service whether that was just a radar glitch at a poor time, but that CC drop correlation coefficient potentially picking up some debris right where that rotation would be right now. So we're just waiting to see if that's confirmed or not. Or if anybody along these highways, there's highways right here. If anybody along these highways maybe has video of a potential tornado crossing the highway. See if reflectivity has changed. I'm using tilt 1 right now. So now you have a little bit better of a hail core, indicating a stronger updraft. Stronger updrafts are good on tornadic supercells. So with a stronger updraft, right where it would be in comparison to where the tornado would be, definitely is giving me tornado vibes. If I were a storm chaser and I'm on this storm, or I am a storm chaser, but if I were storm chasing and I'm on this storm, I'm hoping I'm on this highway right here, and I'm hoping I'm about right here. The best shot at seeing that tornado, or even probably right here in the rain-free base, the best shot is seeing a tornado in there. That's why it's dangerous activity to be a storm chaser sometimes. Okay, so now we got even better rotation starting to come together. This could be a big tornado here in just a minute. It's really starting to ramp up here, guys. Let's check correlation coefficient. This again is south of Cleveland. It's about 5 miles southeast of Cleveland, Texas. No major population in the way. Okay, so that last CC drop is kind of dissipated. Hold on, let me put this in motion to see what we got going on here. No, it's still there. See how that pops up right there? But it's moving kind of away. So I wonder if it was just a radar being weird here. Nonetheless, there's definitely an area to be concerned about there. See what digital velocity shows. Digital velocity bumping the same thing right there, where there's red and those greens are mixing together. That's what you don't want in a tornado warning storm. Unless, of course, you're like me and are a storm chaser and want it. Johnny says it's pretty much all farmland. That's good. Good. We don't want a lot of population. We want a lot of cornfields and, whatever fields you guys got out there in Texas. I'm sure you guys got cornfields and wheat fields and whatnot. Watch out for flying cows. Yes, we're in southeast Texas. This is just northeast of the Houston metro. Probably about maybe an hour, 30 minutes northeast, something like that. Probably 30 minutes to 60 minutes northeast of Houston metro. Mark asks, why aren't tornadoes in the center of a supercell? They can be, but a classic supercell, kind of in a way, the kind of what we're looking at. The reason why the tornado is not in here is because tornadoes need surface winds to create that column of air that makes them spin, right? So you got winds booking out of the southeast, winds coming in from the west, and then you have what's called an RFD, a rear flank downdraft, that wraps around the back of this like so and creates that spin that you get in there. That's why you get tornadoes there on the back end of storms. You get your hail up here and your heavy rain out in front, and then you get your nice little hook here, and that's where it's showing. It's almost a classic supercell, just a little messy there on the back end. And you're you're blacked out here on the velocity scan. There's got to be a tornado on the ground, or at least very close to tornado on the ground. And if there is, it's probably going to be a big tornado. They're still pushing at the radar indication. Whenever you get any black that pops up in there, that just means it's so strong on that gate-to-gate shear that you could have a tornado on the ground. And with the scan being this wide, it's probably going to be a big tornado. It probably won't be a little one, maybe a little bit wider than what we've seen earlier. I'm not talking like wedge tornado, but it's going to be a little bit bigger in size than the one that hit the Houston metro earlier. Let's pull up CC. It hasn't quite updated yet to where we want it. So let's just keep they're still talking indicated only. They have no confirmation of a tornado on the ground. These storms all day have been producing tornadoes. Here's a video from earlier of the tornado that was just near the Houston metro. You can see it racing from south to north because that's the direction it was going. So they're about west of it. They're right where you should be if you're a storm chaser trying to find a tornado in the rain. Right there in that nice little rain gap. But that's from earlier. That's the Kingwood, Humble, Houston metro tornado from earlier. See, lots of population in there. Luckily, we're only getting reports of minor damage and injuries, so that's good. But that's from earlier. It's the same storm system that's been producing these tornadoes all day, and it looks like maybe we have another one trying to get going here. Really just waiting on CC to give me an idea here. Yeah, nighttime is the worst time to obviously spot a tornado. Absolutely. I actually ended December with a night tornado. We chased the quad state supercell at night, and we got the tornado there at night. It was like 9:30 at night.
big wedge tornado about over a mile wide at night. Definitely was a fun chase. That video is on my YouTube as well. How powerful? We don't know if there's a tornado on the ground or not. We're waiting for confirmation. Waiting for the radar to kind of show us. We don't know. And I would probably have no way of knowing how powerful it actually is just looking at a radar. Because sometimes you can get rotation looks like super crazy on radar, but it'd actually be a weak tornado the whole time. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you're from Texas, we are currently tracking a tornado warning in southeast Texas. I know we get a lot of questions about where this is. Let me actually put the county in there. This is Liberty County. This is all part of a tornado watch that goes until 10 o'clock tonight. This should help everybody with like location wise. So tornado warning in Liberty County, Texas. Looks like the last couple of updates have it weakening out just a little bit, but I said that last time. There is looks like a flood warning now with this. A little green box just popped up. Yeah, flash flood warning along with the tornado warning, Liberty County, Texas. So the tornado, if there is one, isn't the only thing to worry about. Now you have flash flooding, which is one of the leading causes of weather-related deaths in the country, is flash flooding in general. Do I talk with Reed? Yeah, every now and then. Okay, yeah. Definitely still have like Len just said, rotation is definitely holding up still. It's still there. It still warrants a tornado warning. It is pushing towards the edge of this tornado warning, so we'll see if they extend one. And now it's going into flash flooding as well. Let's see if correlation coefficient gives us any answers. Lots of info probably being pushed in here, indicated by that bright blue. I don't think this would be any CC drops to be concerned about, though. That's probably just inflow. So now it's all about waiting for radar scans and radar updates. Actually, let's see if there's still a little bit of a hook on it here. Yeah, there it kind of is. So you get here's your hail core up here, and then you got your hook kind of coming through like this. Looks like your inflow notch is weakening. You're getting more rain tucked in there now than originally what was there. We can actually put it in motion, see how good the inflow notch was. See, there for a minute, you had a really good area of sticking into the storm. It's like pokes a hole in there. You had it there good for a second. It's kind of weakened out a little bit. Definitely still some hail coming down in that storm as well, indicating a strong updraft. Let's take a look at the integrated liquid. So here's your hail, indicated by the heaviest stuff being the red, pink, and whites. I think that's, yeah. So pretty good hail coming down there, indicating that strong updraft. Down here would be your tornado somewhere. So not only do you have to worry about severe winds, not only do you have to worry about flash flooding, not only do you have to worry about tornado, you got to worry about those big hailstones falling from the sky up in here. So probably close to Cleveland. I don't know if Cleveland would be getting hail. I don't think they quite got mature enough by then. Christy says lots of lightning. Rotation is near Goat Road, Farm Market 2518 south of Hightower. But definitely some area of rotation occurring in here. I say that word a lot, don't I? Definitely. I say that word all the time. Is Texas the only state having tornadoes right now? Yes. This storm system does have the potential to move into the region. That is the only tornado warning is in Texas right now. We're going to watch it as it crosses into Louisiana later on. I probably won't be live streaming for that unless something hits the fan. I saw that there were like 2 tornado warnings earlier when I was sitting here at the desk, but I didn't go live for them because they looked really weak, and all of a sudden there was 4. So then I went live. This rotation here kind of broadening out a little bit. We'll see if it does recycle. I would say it still warrants a tornado warning. Let me see if they are reporting any. Oh, that's the flash flood. I hate that. So still radar indicated. National Weather Service does not confirm any tornado that was on the ground at any point. We know we were watching a CC drop there for a second. But it appears that maybe it wasn't a tornado. It looked like a tornado for me. It was brief. It was deep. I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, fact check that for me. Yeah, it's possible. There was confirmed tornadoes in that area earlier. I saw someone's question about Beaumont. Hold on, where'd it go? Is it going to have major? No, it will not have major impact on Beaumont. I was trying to find your comment because I saw a question earlier. So another radar scan here. Still hanging strong on the rotation, but just not as. Starting to broaden up a little bit there. If I were a guessing man doing this job a while, I would say if it looks like this, when it reaches this tornado polygon box, they probably won't extend the tornado warning. If it looks like that. It looks like, still a little bit of a hook there, but it's starting to weaken out quite a bit. There's not a lot of inflow now into the storm, which will weaken the chances of tornadoes. I didn't mean to click on that. I meant to click on CC. Nothing that immediately is concerning to me. Using the depiction a little bit, it kind of shows a better hook, but then it's too much rain tucked in here for it to be a strong, this not strong enough inflow right now. You can see the red and pinks. That's your inflow, right? That's where that wind is racing into the storm. Any red or bright pinks you see is the rain picked up on radar that's blowing away from radar. So wind speed pretty much going away. And then that green is it going towards the radar. Our radar is down in this direction because we're using Houston radar. So that's where your mixture of winds is happening. And then as that comes together, right here would be the spot of the tornado if it were tighter. I would say there's probably not a tornado on the ground right now, and on this storm in particular. If you would have asked me 15 minutes ago south of Plum Grove if there was a tornado, I would have answered yes, because it certainly looked like it. And then finally the tornado warning came out across the region. Let me answer some questions here. Houston, we got a problem. Yeah, hoping nobody is hurt from this storm. Somebody earlier, Johnny, said that there was a lot of farmland in this area. He's from the region, so I'm hoping that no homes or anything were hit by if a tornado was on the ground. Oh, I missed the end of the game. Who won? Chiefs or Broncos? Looks like the Chiefs. How powerful is the wind on a scale of 1 to 10? I really don't know. I can't really tell. So they expired that tornado warning. I don't know. Probably upwards of 50 miles an hour right now. No, pink is not lightning. No. Probably 50 right now. Probably tucked into this inflow at one point was some higher wind gusts, maybe upwards of 60. But this tornado warning has expired now, and I don't see a new one out for this region. So they have let the tornado warning expire, which I figured they would. This is pretty broad now. We'll see if it tightens back up. Did the Chiefs win? Yeah, they did. In Ohio, dark and windy. Yeah, you guys, I think you have a cold front pushing through. There's probably some wind from that cold front. There's lots of lightning with the storms. Okay. That's actually good to know, because a lot of lightning with storms indicate storms are energized. It's a good sign. Chiefs. Man, I can't believe I missed that. Dang. Any impact to Shreveport? I think there's a threat for some storms tonight in Shreveport, but I don't think that far up that they're expected to be like terribly severe. I don't think there's a tornado. There's no. Oh, jeez. Sorry. I don't think there's a tornado threat that far north. Sorry, guys. I just yawned right on live stream. I apologize. So here's the updated velocity scan. You're seeing that wind trying to be strong enough to get that rotation tightened right in there. It's just not quite happening yet. But this would be the area of concern right here, due east of Cleveland, Texas, and Liberty County, Texas. There is no tornado warning on it. There is, however, a flash flood warning on this storm. So that's something to be. The tornado warning was just dropped just about a minute ago. Hi, Vincent. Cowboys and the Eagles play next. Yeah, I'll be watching that too. Because I think both teams are playoff contenders. Yeah. New tornado warning? Is it really? Thank God. It hasn't updated on my screen yet. Lafayette, Louisiana, same thing. There's not going to be a tornado threat that far. Okay, so they did put a new tornado warning out for, I think, the same county, Liberty County, right? Should be. Yes, so new tornado warning out. So they did issue the new one, which makes sense. So now we're back to code red tornado warning, and it's going to be for this region right here, where you get this tightening area of bright pinks and dark greens that are coming together. That's your tightest rotation area on this storm. This is the same area that we've seen some what's the word I'm looking for? CC drops that maybe at one point we thought was a tornado. Not seeing much yet with this storm that would scream tornado yet. So yeah, definitely an area tightening up here. That's why the tornado warning was issued again. They did not extend it that far. They actually stopped it right at the Liberty County line, probably because the storm continues to go through cycle phases. So they're not confident that the storm will continue doing anything tornadic past this point, which I don't blame them. But right here is your rotation. This is due east of Cleveland, Texas, and southeast of Shepherd, Texas. This is moving northeast across Liberty County. Put that in motion real quick. Tornado warning extended. Yeah, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Ramier, Marvels, and Mason Lake Estates, Texas. Okay, the tornado that hit Covington, Georgia, okay, a few days ago. Ef1. Okay, yeah, that sounds about right. I think you and I were talking, Kevin, about Ef0, Ef1, somewhere right in there. Oh my goodness, Kim. I can't even begin to tell you how hard it was sleeping in negative weather. I had all my heaters on. It was negative like 17, I think is what it got down to where I live. It was negative 17 degrees in my apartment. Had the heaters on, and it was underneath 2 blankets. And I have an exterior wall, and my bed is up against it. So I felt some of the cold air actually coming off the wall. It actually felt pretty good, honestly. But it got a little chilly at night, that's for sure. It's chilly tonight as well. If it's your first time here, guys, please subscribe, like the video. It means so much to me. I've had such a great group of people tonight on this live stream, just asking questions, wanting to know more about the weather. We are monitoring a tornado warning. I'm just waiting for it to kind of enhance itself, I guess, a little bit. Waiting for it to get a little bit stronger, and then we'll go back into velocity. This storm has the history of producing tornadoes. Has been all day. Started out near Houston Metro, came up towards Humble, and what was the other town name? Kingwood. Produced a tornado there, and then weakened out a little bit, and then came back and started producing more tornadic storms, including a radar confirmed tornado near Dayton, Texas, and now we're producing more rotation. But yes, like I said, guys, thank you so much for being here. Can I be live when the Cowboys? Yeah, I'm watching it right here. I got the Cowboys and Eagles on right behind you guys. Right behind you guys. This app is Radar Scope. This is the radar that I use. It's called Radar Scope. It's really nice, and you can break down like velocity scans. Okay, so next scan. Pretty much screams developing tornado. Bright pinks getting together right here. I would say that is definitely an area of concern. That is concerning velocity scan there. Fortunately, not a lot of population out ahead of it. I know that some people were naming like smaller towns in the path of this tornado warning. So I'll be curious to know the population. If anybody is handy dandy with Google and can pull population up, I would love to see it. This is all part of the tornado watch that goes until 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. So still a few hours left of the tornado watch. Actually, about 3.5 hours left of the tornado watch here across portions of southeast Texas. This current tornado warning that we're watching, tightening a couplet of rotation happening now, dead smack center of that tornado warning. This is in Liberty County, Texas. This is north of the Houston metro. And again, that's in part of that tornado watch. So right here is that area of tightening rotation occurring right now on radar. Let's see what the National Weather Service is saying about the tornado warning. It is still radar indicated, no confirmation of a tornado. Let's see what towns it puts in the way here. Doesn't have any towns listed, so they're not even picking up on towns either. Let's check CC, make sure we don't have any surprises going on here. With rotation like that, tight rotation, maybe get something in here. We'll watch it over the next scan or two. It's not impressive, but one of the best ones we've seen so far today, east of Cleveland, Texas, and Liberty County, Texas. Thank you so much, Luke. I appreciate it. Another storm chaser in the chat. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, I've seen a lot of comments about like tornadoes happening later in the years, climate change, all that stuff. You guys believe in what you want to believe in. I'm not going to judge you at all for what you believe in. All I see is lightning, snow from the south. Like, what do you mean by lightning, snow? Batson, Texas is 1,000 people. Yeah, thankfully this is not hitting, nearing any major populated areas, but sometimes that makes it even worse. And I'll explain why I say that. When you don't have any big cities in the path of tornadic storms, you don't have anybody with eyes that can tell you what's going on, right? And now the sun's setting over here, so you're not going to get a lot of visual on whatever's happening in here. A lot of time, the most important thing for storm chasers and trained weather spotters is the eyes, right? National Weather Service relies on chasers and spotters to get that information out to the National Weather Service so they know exactly what's happening in the storm. Because sometimes you get rotation that appears a little bit weaker, like this one does, still tight but weaker, that could be producing big tornadoes that the National Weather Service has no idea because they're looking off of a computer screen. I don't see any drops in correlation coefficient yet in that area, so that's good. So nothing that shows that a tornado is on the ground just simply by looking behind the screen of a computer. There's no current confirmed tornado on the ground. I wouldn't really be able to tell how big it is from behind a computer anyway, so I would need eyes on it. Will I give my family, Rick and Sherry David, a shout out? Sure will. Sherry and David, or Rick and Sherry David, sorry. Rick and Sherry David, a shout out. Huge fans of the channel. Thank you guys so much. God bless you. Thank you so much for being huge fans and followers of my work. I've been working real hard at this for a very long time, and I appreciate everybody who supports me. Thank you, Rick and Sherry, so much. So much. And thank you, Jay, for that shout out as well. Brandis, 99 cents in the chat. Thank you so much, Brandis, for your donation. It goes a long way with me. Huge support. Thank you guys so much. For those who are just tuning in, we are tracking a tornado warning in Liberty County, Texas. This is part of the tornado watch that's issued until 10 o'clock for a portion of that southeast Texas region. Beep, boop, shout out, like, button, smash, done deal. Adam in the house. Adam, what is it, Hodges? Oh, sorry, I missed your last name. Hodges. Adam Hodges in the house. Beep, boop, shout out, like button, smash. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. Hook echo not as defined as before. However, rotation still remains. Yeah, let's take a look at that. That's a great point. Let's take a look at the reflectivity and see what that hook echo is doing here for us. Hail core is weaker as well. I don't see a lot of, not as much hail as there was. And that, yeah, you're right. That hook echo is pretty much non-existent now. Not a lot of going on that hook. Not a lot of inflow notch showing. But yeah, rotation's still there for sure. It's broadened out a little bit since the last scan. Let's see if we have a CC going on here. I can't tell if maybe this is something that's popping up in a suspicious area. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of a CC drop there, but we'll hold our tongue on any T words just yet. Because that's still where it's showing is away from where that tightest rotation is. So I don't know if that's going to be accurate or not. Oh, crap. I closed chat. Hang on one second. Christy says it just got quiet. Remind me where you're at, Christy. I forgot. Yes, thank you so much to the moderators. I know Matt's in here. I think Casey's off tonight. I think he's relaxing with the fam. Matt is in here. He'll actually be out for us tomorrow chasing ice across New York and Pennsylvania. I know for people that live in Texas, it doesn't really matter to you, but he will be out tomorrow chasing an ice storm up in the Northeast. We'll get his live stream and tomorrow. Is this near Cleveland, Texas? Yes. This is east of Cleveland. Right here's Cleveland circled in blue. I know it's kind of hard to see on your guys' screen, the towns. Actually, here, I'll fix that. I meant to do that last time. Should be a little bit easier to see the town names, yeah? Can you guys see that a little bit better? Can you guys see Cleveland better now on the screen? So this is due east of Cleveland. OKT weather in the house. Welcome, OKT. We're waiting for this tornado warning storm to maybe do a little bit of a ramp up again. It's kind of weakened out a little bit since the last couple scans. Do I have GR2? No, I don't. I really want it, though, but I just don't want to pay for it, you know? Birdie, I'll make you a mod here soon, probably, because you're in here enough that you can get in here and be a mod for me. Nighttime coverage is hard to see. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was just saying earlier, Adam. I was like, with no population, it's kind of hard to get eyes on what's going on in here, which makes it really hard for weather reporting online. Thank you so much, OKT Weather, for subscription. I appreciate it so much. It means a lot to me. I'm kind of getting distracted by football too. Sorry. So right here is the rotation happening. Okay. I'm still on the channel. Okay. Here's the rotation happening right here right in the center of this tornado polygon box. I guess it's not box, tornado polygon. Let's pull up CC, see if we got any surprises here. We don't. So nothing shows me that a tornado was on the ground anytime in here. We did have something here, but it wasn't where the rotation was. It was well off, so I'm not going to say that was anything to be concerned about. So yeah, so it's weakened out a little bit. Still there though. We'll monitor it for a little bit more. Keep our eye on it. Eventually here I'll have to get off so I can go eat. Is it crossing Batson? I don't know where Batson is. Hang on one second. Give me one second. I'll pull that up for you. Because you've asked a few times. I should probably... Batson, Texas. No, this is northwest of Batson. Right? So Batson's probably... Where are you at here? You're down here somewhere. I just saw it. It's not popping up here. It's somewhere in here. I know that it is because I just looked at it. But that's northwest of you. Not by much, but it is northwest of you in Batson. Kevin, yes, I will be live tomorrow. If I feel good. I've had a headache all day today, but I should be good. Leesville, I'm assuming Texas. I know where that is. I've heard of that before. No, this is well off of you. This is way, way northeast. This is northeast of the Houston Metro. It's getting that time of night, guys. Can't even say Houston. This is northeast of Houston Metro. This is way far away from there. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Luke, for promoting. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're from this area and you're getting this information, this is all part of a tornado watch across portions of southeast Texas until 10 o'clock p.m. CST. No, I didn't test myself for COVID. I'm fully vaccinated, but I still get tested every now and then, but I haven't done that. It just started like 2-3 hours ago. I've been home since. Yeah, Len, we were tracking that earlier. No major damage reported. Okay, can you get any information on injuries from those? I don't think there was any significant injuries, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. This rotation is weakening out quite a bit. If the tornado warning drops, we'll probably drop the live stream simply because I need to get something to eat and my throat's starting to hurt from talking so much. This is all, again, part of the tornado watch here in Texas. This has also been part of these storms that have been producing tornadoes all day. This video earlier from just north of Houston shows the tornado going through the Humble and Kingwood region on the north side of Houston. Obviously, you can tell there's population there. I don't know if you guys can hear the video either, but the reaction's kind of like, shocked. It looks like it was crossing a major highway at that point too. But this is the same storm system that's been producing these storms all day long across southeast Texas. Looks like they did extend that tornado warning. What county is this now? This tornado warning now includes Hardin County. All right, Luke, man, have a good night. We'll see you again soon. So there is a new tornado warning out. Let me get this information updated for Liberty and now Hardin counties in southeast TX. Let's see how much room that takes up. I don't like how that's not capitalized. I worry about little things and important moments for some reason. All right, so if you're just tuning in, we are tracking a tornado warning in Liberty and Hardin counties. This is in southeast Texas, northeast of the Houston metro. A couple areas of rotation happening, but the big one for the 2 tornado warnings is right here. For a minute, we had something going on here. It looks like next scan kind of gave that away. But a little bit of something happening here. I'm really shocked they put the tornado warning out that way. I wonder if they're expecting a change in direction here. The National Weather Service can forecast storms that are about to shift directions. So you get a lot of times, sometimes you're confused. You see the storm going this way. All of a sudden, tornado warning pops up this way. Because they can forecast shift in motion, in direction. For an idea where it is, here is Shepherd, Texas. And here is North Cleveland and Cleveland, Texas. And this is just northeast of Cleveland, southeast of Shepherd in southeast Texas. This is all part of a tornado watch that's currently ongoing. 2 tornado warnings and a flood warning, flash flood warning currently out. And all 3 of those warnings are in the same area. Right in the Hardin County and the Liberty County regions. We're getting some new people in here, so that's why I like to repeat myself. When new people come in and out, we need to update them on what's going on. Yes, it is moving away from Cleveland to the northeast. This will not affect Cleveland, Texas, moving away. Let's check the warning here. Still says radar indicated here. Let me pull CC. I know some people are saying tornado, but let's see. Maybe a CC drop happening here. We'll see on the next scan if that increases, but there might be something here. Northeast of Cleveland, moving away from Cleveland, Texas. And that would match where that rotation is. So we'll see on the next scan here. There's also a Discord link. Thanks, Matt, for the reminder. There is a Discord link in the chat. You guys can join that. And it's a public chat room for anybody who wants to keep up to date with weather from all across the country. It also keeps you updated with what I'm doing here on the channel, future live streams, future forecasts, stuff like that. When I'm not out in the field chasing storms, I'm here in the office doing live forecasts and live weather coverage like you're seeing right now. But thank you guys so much. A lot of people joining from Southeast Texas. Appreciate you being here. We're about done with the live stream. We're just waiting to see what this storm does here because I'm about to run out of energy. Been on for almost 2.5 hours now, nonstop talking. My throat's starting to hurt a little bit. Still don't see, National Weather Service isn't confirming tornadoes, but I know some people are saying that other people are saying. I don't see any CC drops with tornado activity either. So I'm going to go ahead and say no tornado on the ground as of right now. The rotation's not that tight. Actually, let's go back. Let's go back to CC real quick and make sure that I didn't miss anything. We'll put it in motion. So that was the thing that popped up there for a second that had me like all hyped, but that was too far south of that rotation. So I don't think that was anything. And then that little guy that popped up there, I thought maybe we had something on the ground, but we don't. I don't see anything in the CC that indicates an active tornado. Maybe a little bit more high resolution drop, maybe, but I don't think that matches where the tightest rotation currently is. It does match. So using the super resolution correlation coefficient, we have maybe a little bit of something happening there. Northeast of Cleveland, Texas. So we'll monitor that for a couple of scans. Howdy from Farmersville, Texas. Thanks for being here, Keith. Appreciate you. Pretty far away from Dallas. A few hours, I think. At least a couple hours. Am I going to be live again? Very possible. I'm going to take a break, eat some dinner, get something to drink, and then if I get back in here and it's still crazy, I will come back live for all of you. I don't think the craziness will continue very much longer. I think we're going into the sun setting. Storms become a little bit weaker after sundown. I don't think we'll get too many tornado warnings here after these are done. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to be the same storm system producing multiple tornado warnings throughout the entire night. I think that's probably what will happen. So we got reports of potential tornadoes 7 miles west of Votal or 10 miles west of Thicket, moving northeast at 30. Is this on this storm, Len? If so, I wonder why National Weather Service isn't putting it in there. It's tough. I don't think so, though. Nothing on correlation coefficient like stands out. Let's pull the weaker one here. I mean, it could have been if it was a very weak and quick tornado, then it's very possible. It'd be right in here, well northeast of Cleveland, moving away from Cleveland. Sun is down in Texas. Okay. Christy, sorry, I probably already asked you this. Where are you at, Christy? I think you already said, but I missed it. Anticyclonic type rotation. Okay. Oh, Vernon Parish. That's right. You're on the Louisiana side. Okay. Let's give this another scan or two. I think it's too broad to be a tornado, but then again, last week, if you guys were watching last week's streams, we were doing tornado warning coverage in Georgia, and I kept saying, "Oh, it doesn't look that tight on radar," and it was like active tornadoes on the ground. So sometimes these radars, man, they really undersell the storm's potential. So and that's the problem though, as well, is that's why storm chasers and storm spotters become so important, because having eyes in the field is so much better for confirmation of what's going on with the storm. Because when you get radars that look like this, that, okay, yeah, it's pretty tight, but not that tight. And there could be a tornado happening in here, but we don't know, especially after dark. So we can only hope that maybe somebody can see it, whether it's a storm chaser or a just a citizen, you know. But just pulling CC alone, I'm not seeing any. But it could have been a very quick, brief tornado if there was one. Okay, 10 mile, yeah. We were live streaming that tornado, the Covington, Georgia tornado, as it was happening. I love Texas, man. I'm telling you. If I had to move to one place, it would either be Oklahoma or Texas. I am a huge fan of Texas. I was out in the Panhandle earlier in the year of last year, back in March, and I loved it so much. Everybody in Amarillo was super nice too. Just everybody's nice in Texas. Okay, thanks, Matt. Yeah, there's also some ice events happening across the Midwest now, pushing into the Northeast overnight. We'll live stream some of that information tomorrow. This storm's starting to weaken out pretty good. We'll probably go offline here for the night here soon. If things start to ramp back up and I'm seeing really good radar indicated tornadoes or confirmed tornadoes, we'll come back live and talk about them. But I'm kind of waiting for this one to push out of the tornado warning box. Again, I'm not sure why there's a tornado warning box over here. The storm is over here. I thought maybe they were just thinking it might make a turn, but it's not. It's kind of pushing up this direction. Let's pull CC again just to make sure. Okay, let's pull reflectivity, see how much of a mess it is. Yeah, so that rotation on reflectivity is right here. Or in the tornado is right here on reflectivity. So another big problem is now you get rain that circles all around it. So it becomes what we call rain wrapped, right? So very difficult to see the tornado. Actually, almost impossible. You have to be right up on it to see it. Been there, done that. I actually chased a tornado in Swiss Alp, Texas, which is southeast. I think it's down near San Antonio. And we were chasing that tornado. It was completely rain wrapped, and we had to get, maybe 2,000 yards away from it to see it. That video is also on my page if you guys want to watch it. But yeah, let's get any final questions or concerns out, and I'm going to log off until things start looking a little bit better. We do still have 2 tornado warnings, and I definitely don't want to sleep on them. However, I'm just drained from doing this live stream. I was up early this morning driving across Illinois looking for ice, and so I'm just about done. So I'm going to have to log out here soon and go get some eat and maybe wake myself up a little bit. Needed some Red Bull in here. I think they will add a tornado warning to the north. I think you're right. We'll see though. But let's do final questions here for the last minute or so, and then we'll log off for a little bit. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe to the channel. We hit 4,000 subscribers finally. Thank you guys so much. It's all because of you, and I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everybody coming in here and just wanting to know more about weather. It definitely makes me happy. I'll go to sleep with a smile on my face tonight for sure. Thank you guys so much. But if you're in the path, obviously stay safe. If you're anywhere in East Texas, Southeast Texas to Southwest Louisiana, be weather aware tonight. What channel is the Cowboy game? Good question. It is on ABC. Right? Yes, it's on ABC. Starts in about 15 minutes or so. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. You guys are what lead me to do this. So I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you guys so much. Is Vernon Parish going to get bad? Probably not. I think there is still a tornado threat there. So just be weather aware, especially if you plan on going to sleep early tonight. It is a Saturday night, luckily, so people are up a little bit later. But just be weather aware just in case. Some storms are possible tonight in that area. But all right, guys, I'm going to log off. I'm going to get something to eat. Thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, make sure you ask them in the comments after the video is over. You can also join the Discord chat and talk to me in there. It's a little bit more personalized. You can get in there and actually like tag me, and I'll answer questions for you one-on-one. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to the tornado warning in Texas, the live weather coverage. Until next time, guys, be safe, love one another, and I'll see you guys soon.